7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
All power to the people. It's the Bruh Listen Podcast, the black podcast focusing on social political issues and how they affect our community. With your hosts, Bria Ward, Cedric Owens, Matt Smiley, and Anthony Rogers. Bruh Listen. Bruh Nation, what's good? Episode number 11, the holy number, a new beginning. We done switched things up. We streaming live on the YouTube, so y'all can check us out on the YouTube now. We'll post it to Facebook later, but yeah, we trying to do this and grind. So we on the YouTube, and then we back again for another episode. Everybody feeling good? Feeling good? Back at it. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
all that. I'm all right.
Yeah.
It ain't on Facebook.
Tank trying real hard to find us streaming live right now. He's struggling.
There's some bugs.
We ain't never been live on Tinder. Come on now.
We're streaming live on Plenty of Fish. If you look, it's swipe right. If you're not, but it's all good. Nah, man. Been a real interesting week. So real cool, interesting things going on. Before the show, Tank had us listening to some Starlito. Is garbage.
It's hot garbage.
It's hot garbage.
It's hot garbage.
It's hot garbage.
Hating.
Starlito was trash. It wasn't good.
It was not good.
It wasn't good.
What did he say? What was the lyric?
It don't matter. I can't remember it because it was trash.
No.
I thought it didn't
Because you
matter.
didn't listen. That's pride.
The first time I heard Lil Uzi, XO Tour Life, I didn't really care. I knew that instantly.
What about Starlito spoke to you, Tank? What lyric?
Well, the beat and the substance of what he was saying.
Such as
Fuck y'all niggas. That's what he was saying.
oh, okay. You like the George Jefferson of rap?
That's what's up. But we'll use that to segue because Starlito can say whatever he want on his raps because free speech. So intern Bud is currently Googling Starlito. It's going to be epic.
Don't waste your time.
Don't waste your time, intern Bud.
Okay.
But yeah, Starlito can say whatever he want in his raps because of free speech. Something that happened this week was the NFL came down with a ruling saying that free speech, well, I feel like they saying free speech is not acceptable within their workplace environment by saying that they will fine you if you take a knee for the anthem. So, all of it stems back to the Colin Kaepernick taking a knee thing. And basically the NFL owners unanimously voted, except the Jets owner who abstained, that you should be fined and penalized if you choose to, and I quote, not respect the flag or the anthem during the ceremonies. And if you didn't want to respect the flag or the anthem, you could stay in the locker room or whatever. So, like, I personally feel like this is a violation of the free speech, a violation of their civil rights to protest. But I know other people feel different. Y'all just heard Tank in the background say ain't nothing wrong with that. So Tank, we'll start with you this week, baby boy.
Hey,
let me know why ain't nothing wrong
time.
with it. Oh, you been waiting for me to start with you?
Yeah. Why ain't nothing wrong with it? Let me tell you why ain't nothing wrong with it. First of all, because this is a job, nigga. This is not you on the street. You can say whatever you want to on the street, but when you go to a job, you got to follow the rules. Like when I was working at bullshit Wendy's.
Wait a minute, Uncle Ruckus.
When I was working at bullshit Wendy's, and they said you got to say hi, welcome to Wendy's to everybody that walked through the motherfucking door. I didn't want to do that shit, but they say you got to do it, or you get your ass fired. Now in the case of the protesting the thing, they're not stopping them from their free speech, from protesting everything. You're just not going to do it while you at work, and that's their rules. They run the shit.
But you know, saying hi, welcome to Wendy's. Me and you had this conversation earlier. Mm-hmm. Saying hi, welcome to Wendy's is like a part of their company protocol. So I understand what you're saying by that. But saying that I have to stand for the national anthem, I feel like that's violating my civil rights because I have the right of an American not to stand for your anthem.
That's a new company protocol because black people
even if
decided to stand up for themselves.
You are
that's
right,
not
man.
like a protocol for the NFL.
You are right, but if they make it a protocol, like they could change whatever they want to. Yeah, if they want to do it, they could do it. That's
a direct violation of the Constitution and of all of the
No,
rights.
you don't go to jail. You go to jail.
I agree with Bria, actually.
You're not protected under the Constitution on a job or free speech. You can't just bring a gun to work because you want to bring a work. If the job say no guns, no guns. You can't just say what you want to say. If the job say don't say this, don't say that. You got to do it,
But
or
you're taking
lose
away
that job.
You're taking away one of my inalienable rights, which is I don't have to stand for the anthem. That's an inalienable right as an American
why you at
citizen.
this job?
No, because that's like if I come into work and I got my fro going on, and they say, "Hey, we don't like your fro. You need to straighten your hair."
That's a violation of civil rights.
That's not. That is not. It is not like that.
That's a violation.
But I'm
of
gonna
civil
tell you
rights.
what it is like. See, what's so disappointing is it was never about the anthem. It was never about free speech.
True.
Yeah.
So if we're not gonna talk about unarmed black men being killed in mass without discrimination, we falling for the trick. This is a trick, right? It's a smoke screen. It's not a new policy. It's not an attempt to stop her. The way protests work is we gonna do what you don't want us to do until you do something the way you're supposed to, right? Whether you can take a knee or not at work, it is can I wear bow ties on casual Friday or not without offending somebody. And if the company comes up with a policy that says you can't, wearing your bow tie is then a protest. This new policy, that's garbage.
What about the union though?
What about it?
So the NFL and the players union have an agreement that whenever it's called a collective bargaining agreement. Everybody, Teamsters that have it with UPS and all kinds of other unions have it, whatever. So they entered into their collective bargaining agreement saying that these are the rules and they accept it. So they changed the rules without consulting the union at all because DeMauro Smith, who's the head of the NFL's players union, was like, they ain't even talked to us before they did this. They just did it.
If it was a problem, they wouldn't be showing up to OTAs and voluntary mini camps.
Ooh.
I
think they're going to show up regardless because they want that money.
I think a lot of teams already reported to work.
Shout out to Jalen and Boye for not showing up. And if you want your latest on
He had a family
thing, well, if you want your latest updates on sports, me and intern Bud got a sports podcast called Flag on the Play. Y'all can check that out. Like and subscribe. And we on YouTube too. Okay, but moving on from that, I got to get my plugs. Plugs. Even though Tank the plug or whatever, intern Bud just got me the players union. They say the NFL chose not to consult the union in the development of this new policy. The statement began, NFL players union have showed their patriotism through their social activism, their community service in support of military and law enforcement, and yes, through the protests to raise awareness about issues they care about. The vote by the NFL club CEOs today contradicts the statement made to our players and leadership from Commissioner Roger Goodell and Chairman of the NFL Management Council John Mara about the principles and values of patriotism in the league. Our union will not review the new policy and challenges any aspect of the inconsistencies with the collective bargaining agreement. So basically, right there, DeMar Smith saying we don't even acknowledge the new rules because y'all ain't even talked to us about it. So it don't even count. So what about that?
I haven't heard Bria yet.
She said something?
I was talking.
Why you
Condi?
bringing us back?
Condi? Yeah, go ahead, Condi. Run it then. I want to hear from you anyways, Bria. So what you feel about that? I actually agree with you on this. I feel like they violate their constitutional rights.
I mean, they are. There's no question about whether or not.
So
they're
elaborate on
violating
that
their right.
for the people like Tank and the people out there on YouTube and everywhere else that don't understand why they violating their rights.
I mean, literally in the Bill of Rights, it says free speech, which means your freedom to protest, freedom to say what you want to say, freedom to write what you want to write, freedom to post what you want to post. So them taking a knee was their way of protesting, which means they're taking away that right from them.
All right, so let me say this. That's not the only right that's in the Bill of Rights. You also have
But that's the one we talking about.
I know, but it's also
You're a law student.
It's also a right to bear arms in there.
Okay.
It's a right to have your pistol.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to bring my pistol to work, should a company not be able to tell me not to?
Yes, because the right to bear arms they're not violating your constitutional rights to bear arms because that means ownership of
Here's the
arms.
question.
They are because you can't bring it to.
But you don't have the right to walk around with your gun in Florida. Period.
No, here's
we
the
don't have a
question.
carry
Here's
thing. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
The real question is that declaration that everybody's clinging to for the freedom of speech.
The Constitution.
That's between states and private citizens.
Thank you, Matt.
Now, as a private employer, the NFL, much like your Chick-fil-A bottoms-up reference earlier, if they tell you it's going to be blue polka dot bikini Wednesday, guess what? If you don't like it, you have the right to find other employment or comply.
The Bill of Rights protects you from going to jail. For
No,
something.
no.
That's
the
not
Bill
true.
of the
It's
bill.
free speech.
No, no,
You
no,
can't
no,
go to
no,
jail for
no,
free
no.
speech.
The Bill of Rights speaks to the relationship of the state, the government, and individual citizens. The NFL is not a government.
But I'm saying though,
There's no president
with,
of the-
with state
Yeah,
stuff
obviously
and all
not
of
a
that. If
government.
I'm on the streets, I can say whatever I want and not go to prison.
Because the state cannot arrest you for
Right.
speaking your mind.
Yes.
But if you go to Wendy's and you say, "Look, motherfucker, we ain't got no more zesty sauce," Wendy's can fire you as a private corporation.
Yes. All I'm saying is this is a job.
I know.
A private
I
corporation.
understand it's
I
a job, but okay. So y'all don't think this is a civil rights issue at all? Because like I kind of agree with what Bria said about like the hair thing. So back in the day, they could say, "Hey, your hair needs to be this certain way." Or whatever to work here, and then the civil rights bill passed, and they couldn't say that anymore. Same thing with being handicapped or whatever, because it's an inalienable right, no matter how you look or your function of life, to be able to work. So it's an inalienable right in America to not stand for the anthem. That's your right. So at school, can we change the policies at school now and say kids have to stand for the anthem?
A public school run by the government is a different thing.
What about a private school?
When has it ever been okay to show up at Chick-fil-A in a devil mask?
If a private school wants to do that and say you have to stand for the pledge, and they can't do that because people are paying money.
I don't
it's a
think they
private
can
I
do
just don't
that.
feel like that
Yes, they
should be
can.
able to override your
Yes, you
rights.
can.
Yeah, because
It's not-
now
it's-
you're saying
Because
that-
somebody's paying, you're paying to go there. If you don't want to do that, don't pay to go there.
I get what you're saying,
Yeah,
but like,
that's it.
I agree with Bria. Like, so your private school or the NFL overrides the Constitution?
It
Yes.
doesn't.
It
No,
can't.
doesn't.
Nothing
It
in the
can't.
law
The
says
Constitution is what.
No, yes, it does.
Yes,
though.
it's
Maybe
okay.
y'all ain't realize this, but it does.
So here,
It does because they let it happen, but that doesn't mean it's supposed to
No,
happen.
you don't
That's
have-
two
Now,
different
Bria-
things.
now,
But hold
Bria-
on, you don't have free speech
Now,
to say
Bria,
whatever you want on the job.
I'm glad Bria said
Right?
that. That's what when I was talking to you about this earlier this week. I was like, it's only going this way because they letting it happen. They need to take it to the Supreme Court because
wait a minute.
because they
if
fire
every
you
if
first.
every single NFL player kneels, they ain't gonna fire everybody.
that's true. But you know that ain't happening, Bria.
I know it's not happening. I'm just
pipe dream.
saying.
No, you're right,
It's just
but that's
like-
a
So are
pipe
you
dream.
saying that players should be able to say whatever they want to say at work?
What do you mean? Say whatever you
Say
want to
whatever
say.
they want to say.
No, I'm saying they.
Why not? That's free speech.
Why can't they?
Because you have a job. Can I say whatever I want to say at Wendy's?
No, let's make it simple.
It's the same thing as a job. Let's just say Wendy's.
I recall a few weeks ago, or maybe it was a day ago, when we were talking about Michael Sam and boys kissing on the TV screen. You can't tell me what we is and ain't gonna watch in our house because it's a private property. This ain't got nothing to do with going to jail. This ain't got nothing to do with the Constitution. On this private property, if you don't abide by these rules, you'll be asked to leave.
The NFL is not a government.
It's
Sorry.
right. It's not a government. It's a private.
private.
It's private. Just like your home is private.
Meaning you
property.
have
If
a
they are
choice to be
using
there
their
or not.
platform to protest, that's already covered in the Constitution.
Listen,
get what I'm saying?
No,
So
no,
just
no.
because
It's
they
not
decide they
covered.
I see what you're
It's
saying,
up
bro.
and make a
No,
rule
that's
that
not-
doesn't
that's not
cancel
the-
out.
That's not how it works.
So okay, so I'm coming to your house tomorrow with 24 hours of gay porn.
Wait,
It's a different story.
No, it's not.
It's
your-
private.
Why?
Yeah.
It's your private property, just like the NFL is a private company. See, that's the thing. I stand with the protesters.
Of course,
I
everybody
said-
stand with the protesters. Everybody at the table.
Because if everybody did,
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
We would
everybody
have
at the
no
table.
policy.
I'm about to say everybody at the table do. But we already know we all agree with Kaepernick.
But my argument is, it don't matter who say you can't do what if you're protesting, because protest is supposed to make people uncomfortable.
Right.
Protest is supposed to make people go, huh? What is that about? But the protest has nothing to do with the anthem. It has nothing to do with the U.S. military. It has nothing to do with the right to free speech or not free speech.
Ain't got nothing to do with the
It
flag.
has to do with why when I get pulled over, it's a 50-50 chance I may or may not live, regardless of the circumstances. It's a 50-50 chance that as a black man, when I see flashing lights, this may be my last day on earth. The flag doesn't matter at that point. The cop's not going, well, he does have the right to the pursuit of happiness.
No, nobody's
Maybe he
talking-
likes driving
Nobody's
fast.
talking about that no more. It's about being
No,
able to
no,
kneel.
we talking about it now.
Yeah, we talking about
We talking about it
the
now.
narrative of the story now. You don't even hear that narrative.
You know what though? I want to say this
They
though.
done hijacked it.
So
They trying to,
but they
that's a
did
smoke
it. I
screen.
was about to say they did it
trying.
on purpose. So what this is a smoke screen from the people who don't want the light to be shined on the atrocities that's really going on. So that's why I said take it to the Supreme Court, because I feel like don't let them take away what you're doing. Fight it to the end.
That's not a valid path.
How you think what they should do then? Because I got a few solutions.
Condi?
Oh yeah, you was
My
about to
question
talk.
was the same question. How
Why is it not something you would take to the Supreme Court?
Yeah, why?
Because it's a private corporation. It would be the same as going to the Supreme Court and saying Chick-fil-A need to be open on Sundays because the biscuit's so good.
It's not the same thing.
No, I have the right to free biscuits. I have
That's
a
not the
coupon.
same thing.
Everybody
No,
that's
you doing something
No,
with
Just
speech.
like I can say,
No.
if-
Okay,
if-
so you want something with speech? You want something with speech?
If I feel discriminated against in my job, like I
So-
said with the whole Afro thing, and they tell me I gotta straighten my hair, I can sue them, and they gotta pay me money for discriminating
No,
against
no,
me in
no.
the workplace.
Different.
Okay, now let me
Thing,
ask you
though.
How
this:
is that
if,
different?
if you work for Disney World and your job is to dress up as Goofy outside of Space
out
Mountain,
of all characters.
Goofy, everybody knows Goofy. If you show up as Goofy in a dashiki, you want to take that to the Supreme Court?
That's different. You know what your
No,
job
Wakanda.
is.
I would say
No, Wakanda.
The whole thing,
Wakanda
can't
now,
be in
Goofy.
the whole thing with the hair, and you can't come in. I mean, that's something you're born with. You come in there with
That's your-
hair
But
like
all white
that.
people don't.
No,
feel
no,
that.
no.
Okay, stop
Your-
right there.
your
But
hair
when
is
you're
not a
talking
uniform.
about, I know what you're gonna say. You're born with these rights. to
That's
say
right.
Whatever. No, you don't have to say whatever you want to say, but you have to have that hair like that. That's too different. That's
But the
everything
Constitution
going.
don't say, in my opinion, the Constitution don't say you have these rights unless they say you have these
no,
rights.
rights.
I think
That's
I know where
it.
y'all fucking up at. This is where y'all fucking up at.
Ferdinand.
Y'all are getting
Get
the
those stats,
private
Ferdinand.
business. Like Matt said, y'all getting the private business mixed up with the government.
Right.
Private and public.
Just
you
You
because-
can't drink at the park. You
Yeah.
can drink in your backyard.
Yeah, it's-
What is this nigga doing?
Do the Ferdinand.
What? Listen, everybody,
intern.
everybody in Bruh Nation, everybody in Bruh Nation,
We would
y'all
like to
have no
thank
idea
Julio,
what
Top Shelf.
intern Bud doing right
We would like to
now.
thank Julio for all of his
He just went
efforts.
straight bubblegum shrimp across the floor
Oh my god.
with the freaking prone crawl. Oh man, that's crazy. That was crazy. Okay, so
So
I
what
was
is free speech? So free speech is like when you're free, you say whatever you want, right?
Right.
But it is consequences to free speech. If you say something in the public, even if you work for the state or anybody, if you say something, it still have consequences, public outcry, and you can lose shit. All right, so everybody got free speech.
right, but the
Point of
consequences. Wait,
Constitution
wait.
Is that there's not supposed to.
You're right. The consequences.
It's
No, the
public.
public
It's
con-
can
for
offer
public-
consequences
for
because it's public.
body.
It's public opinion.
Right,
Can-
that's
can
public
somebody look
opinion,
at-
bro.
No.
Public
Not
opinion don't have nothing to do with you telling
No,
me
no.
I have to stand for the anthem.
Yeah, that's a private business. I could tell you to stand for the anthem.
Can someone?
If you work for me, I can tell you. You
Ferdinand.
gotta stand.
Ferdinand.
Yeah, boss.
We need a definition of private corporation versus public institution.
Yeah, we need that. Cause you know
Okay.
what? You know what? Then here's what I was gonna say. One of my solutions is, all right. So we need to. It's time for the players to step up and look at themselves in the mirror, and look at what they value more. Is it the millions and millions of dollars, or
Lord
is it?
have mercy.
Or
I
is it-
would be like, hey, look here, nigga.
No. Listen, hear me out. You ain't hear my point. Cause I ain't gonna say everybody take a knee. Cause that's clearly the obvious, easy thing to do. What we need to do at this point is we need all the players to basically don't play, and we need to have people like P. Diddy and Jay-Z,
All of which players?
all the players in black players in the NFL.
What are they not playing for?
Huh?
Let me tell you.
Let me finish. And P. Diddy and Jay-Z and all them, they need to step up, and we need to start our own league then.
All right, now what are they not playing for?
You not playing
What?
because they basically telling you, shut your mouth.
Wait.
We don't want to hear about
They're
your
not
problems.
playing for in order to be able to protest.
No, you're
It's
not,
about
playing
police
because
brutality.
You're not.
you're
I'm saying it's
not.
not about the police brutality.
No, you
Like when everybody saying stop watching the NFL,
Okay.
it wasn't about the protest no more. Everybody saying stop watching because they say you can't kneel. It's all not even about the prison system and the English.
That's fine, but you know what it is about?
Kneeling.
It's, but
I
it's
think-
They still can
it's still a
protest.
black
Kevin-
issue.
Kevin,
It's
they
still
still can protest
it's still a
with or
black
without
issue
kneeling.
because even if it's not about police brutality no more, now it's about making niggas shut up.
Now I'm gonna tell you.
Don't speak your mind.
You
That's
gotta shut up. It's a job.
That's a straw man argument. That doesn't hold any weight because what you're saying then is if you're African American and you work for a corporation that either A doesn't care about diversity. B, has policies in place that discriminate against African Americans. C, they done kick somebody out at the prom about some 50-cent silverware. We got to boycott the whole thing. You asking these people to put their livelihood on pause.
But see, that's why I think it'll break them though.
Well, you
work
put
for
your
a racist
right. Well, you put your
company.
because bottoms up. Let me tell you something.
Man,
So
when
you
the-
don't think if every black player in the NFL is, which is the majority,
Which means there's
black,
no
which means
NFL.
they're the ones that are making the money.
Right,
for
there's
it,
no
these white
NFL
people.
without every
If
player.
they
Every
took
nigga
a
raised up
kneel-
and voted, we'll have everything.
If they
Oh,
took a
really
kneel,
tight.
oh my gosh, if they took a kneel, oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
'Cause-
If every
never
nigga,
mind.
if every nigga stood up,
Okay.
Go ahead.
80%. Intern Bud just said 80% of the NFL is black.
I thought it was high.
That so.
Hey, man.
It don't matter. That would make a difference.
So
if they
what
all
you-
kneel
what
and
you
say,
would
"Hey,
have-
we ain't playing until
What you
y'all."
would have is Blake Bortles throwing balls to air. Is what you would have.
No.
And that's not gonna last that long.
It's not gonna last long.
But
They
no.
gonna realize.
But why are we not holding? Okay, that's the NFL. Now let's look at what is it? The income gap between women and men's pay. So should we also boycott any corporation if you work at a job where a black woman doesn't make the same amount as a white woman for the same job description? Quit your job tomorrow.
All the black people that quit.
Quit your job tomorrow.
Now, I will say this.
We gonna
I
all
understand
be
what
in
you're
the
saying, man,
streets.
and I actually agree with you. I feel like logistically, I understand why you're saying it would be difficult to do. But if we did it, it would make a change instantly. Just like with the Memphis bus boycotts. Niggas walked to work.
to where?
10, 15 miles because they didn't catch the bus because they wanted to make a difference, and it made a difference.
Still like the underlying preference to why they did it and why they was doing it.
So you don't think
I don't
you don't think
that
with
this
white
shit-
owners, you
I
don't
think
think
this shit is worth it.
Did they,
I don't think that's worth it.
Did they quit their jobs for the buses?
Did they quit their jobs?
No,
No, they didn't quit
No,
it.
they didn't quit
No,
their
they
jobs.
made a lot of sacrifices.
Listen.
but that was a hell of a
wasn't a big-
sacrifice
they
to
was-
walk
they did
15
make a ton of
miles.
sacrifices.
Listen, players, listen to the 80%.
80%.
I feel like it's 85 after the preseason. 85% of the NFL that's African American. If in fact that you feel like there's too much happening, that we're taking too much of the weight at this point in time as black culture, continue your job where you make enough money to where you can invest in your community to make sure that our children get the opportunities to get into positions to where, you know what, they can be the owner. LeBron James, he on pace to be a billionaire player.
Yeah, LeBron is a black hero though.
Floyd Mayweather, he's on pace to be somebody. And you know what though? Again, it's so many unnamed players who do so much between camps, schools, scholarships, that guess what? If y'all think that taking a knee is big enough to stop that flow, listen, take your knee, pay your $15,000 fine. In the case of Jacksonville, Shad Khan say he picking up the tab.
Jets owner said you gonna pay the
Well, let me
tab.
just
Ain't nothing to a boss.
To your point. Yeah, to your point. That's why I said if they gonna do it and they're not gonna play, the underlying preference has to be something. The foundation has to be strong on what they're doing and all. And I don't think being this little petty argument about kneeling for the flag, that's not enough for what all they do with the community to get that up.
You
I
can,
think y'all are underestimating because these white owners, they care a lot about their money. They
But is it
really,
important,
really
though?
do.
I agree.
To them,
Because
yes, it
wait,
is.
It's kneeling for
no,
us.
Bria just made a good point. Because this banning the players from kneeling, the owners don't give a shit if the players kneel or don't
No,
kneel.
it's about
It's
money.
about their cash
That's all
flow.
it's about.
Because they had a whole bunch of people bitching about the fact that players were taking knees because most of the fans are good old boys.
But they're not.
But you say they not, but shit, they just changed the policy for the ones who is.
If they were, then why were they still selling out these games?
Well, maybe
with all these
now that's a good
Negroes?
point. Me and Matt had that conversation either. Maybe the NFL is wrong and mistaken. Maybe it's one of those cases of the vocal minority or whatever. Or
the smoke screen.
right. But remember the vocal minority with Trump too. Now remember they was like, oh, it's not enough of them. They just real vocal the little bit that it is. And then when the election came, yes, we didn't have enough niggas vote, but it was a hell of a lot of Trump
We
niggas
didn't
coming
have
out of the
enough
woodwork.
Americans vote. If only 47% of the electorate showed out in the Trump campaign. If you telling me at this table, the four of us have a choice to vote, players can or can't kneel, and two of us decide we're not going to vote at all, does that reflect the opinion of this table? It doesn't. See, I feel like the thing with the kneeling, one, if you at work, do what you got to do to keep your check, to keep your lights on. take care of home, family first.
The point is, we shouldn't have to do that. That's
We shouldn't have to do what? We shouldn't have to fight for what we want.
No. We shouldn't have to just not be able to do something that we feel like is a thing for justice because we want to have to keep our lights on. You're right.
So-
we should keep our lights on,
Because
but we
if
shouldn't have to
if
stoop
this,
to
if
that
it was
level.
white people doing this and say, "Hey, we're protesting this," this wouldn't have happened.
But if
the
I had-
NFL wouldn't have made that rule.
Kaepernick should have said, "I'm taking a knee for white babies and police brutality."
Exactly.
He
Ooh,
should have
everybody
said it
would
like
have
that.
loved it.
Everybody
then.
would loved it.
Everybody
I'm
loved it.
confused because before the rule came out, the rule just came out this past week.
Yeah.
We had a full season go through. So are you telling me that you watched every NFL game and you saw every African American taking a knee?
No. It's
That's
not even.
before there was a penalty on the table.
I would say of that
'Cause
80%,
everybody's
less
not
than
willing to fight for that.
I was about to say of that 80%, less than 10% are even taking knees.
Right.
And matter of fact, intern Bud said that
that's
10% of the
why
viewership
protests-
went down. So
said
that's
what?
10% of the NFL's viewership went down.
It's had
So
a-
let me tell you something. But hold up, Tank, before you get that point. That's how much the NFL care about money. 10% is not a significant number. It's a number, but it's not a significant number where they still made $26 billion or whatever they made last
Significant
year.
enough for them to make this rule.
But they care so much about the cash that they changed the rule for that 10% of people. They want all of it.
1% is significant, as in
Very true.
As
I
a
would
business
agree with that,
owner.
man. If you in business, 1% can be significant. The revenue, intern Bud with the facts here. This year's revenue of the National Football League will be somewhere north of $9 billion, which means the league remains the most lucrative in the world. But NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell wants more, much more. He stated he wants to be a $25 billion annual revenue league.
I know what it is. I think it's
Can't do that without niggas.
I think it's
That's true. You can't do that. Say it louder, Bria. You can't do that without niggas. That's
saying.
true.
I think it's the fact that this shit is on TV that niggas forget that they have employers. And they forget. No, well, that's why they say they should be able to do whatever. They should be able to protest on the job. They forget that this is a job. Like if I'm hiring somebody and you work for me, and I tell you don't kneel for the flag, you don't kneel.
You basically telling me our rights don't matter.
No, that's not what we
throw
talking
out
Yes,
the
in
Constitution.
my job,
think?
in my job,
Throw
I'm
out the
telling
Bill
you,
of Rights.
all of that shit go out the
Throw
door.
it out there, throw out
Yes,
everything.
I am
Thank God
telling
Tank
you.
ain't got no job. You know what I think though?
If you're an
And sitting
employee,
here listening to the
you
argument
fucking
from
rights.
everybody and me and Bria over this side and y'all over that line or whatever, I think it's a philosophical argument, which is, do you have the right to protest at a job? Now, that's like
Hell no.
that's like if I had a pen. That's
Protest-
like
no protest at a job.
Listen.
And somebody else
Let
job.
me
You
tell
gonna
you.
get your black ass fired at my job.
Let me tell you this. But this is why protest. This is what protest is. Protest is saying, here are your rules. I don't like them,
Right.
and I'm
Oh,
standing
yeah,
for
I
something
get what
bigger than
you're
that.
saying.
But you know what we should do? I just figured it out. If the NFL making that kind of money, we don't need them to kneel. Black people, we not buying no jerseys. We not going to no games. We not getting in red zone. We gonna spend our money on our communities instead. No jerseys, no peace.
no
jerseys, no peace.
That makes sense.
we tried that last year.
But still, what
Did
we
we?
It became a protest of a
because you know
protest of a
what? Because
protest.
Yeah, what we doing it for?
Colin Kaepernick will have a job if we said as African Americans, you know what, Colin, you was on to something.
Man, they
Have a bit. You know what? It comes to a point where you say to yourself, the people who have a say ain't saying what I need them to say. That's what his kneel was about.
We have to be truly unified though, because like,
Do we?
I don't think Kaepernick. Because here's the thing, and that's why I said we got to start our own leagues then, because Kaepernick ain't gonna have no job because the owner's white.
No.
And at the end of the day, if we had a black owner, the closest thing to a black owner we have is right here in Duval with Shad Khan, because he's a Pakistani, but he's a rich Pakistani. So from my experience with rich people or whatever, they tend to be the same as like white people in that same circumstance, right?
Like OJ.
Like OJ, right? So even though they're like, oh, I'm not black, I'm OJ, right? So when they had that vote of 32 teams or whatever, they know 80% of their league is black. They know 13% of their fan base is African American or whatever. And they know that these issues are about African American issues or whatever, so on and so forth, right? But they still made the decision to pass that rule because we don't have no representation in that room at all. So that's why I say you got to have your own. It's just like last week, or in the week before, we was advocating for let's keep Atlanta going and keep building it up and make it Black Hollywood. Let's make it all black. Same thing. Let's do our own leagues then. Cause as long as we let the white man own the league and say, hey, well, this, that, and the third.
Niggas is just niggas talking about making a Wakanda.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
It's nice to say. It's really nice to say.
I bet the Wakanda Football League is lit.
It's really nice to say. I'm so much of a nihilist.
No colonizers.
No.
Intern Ferdinand. 80% of the league is African American. Could you tell me what percent of the league took a knee? And don't count Chris Long because he's Caucasian.
Oh, can I take a?
That's before we get to the.
Let's go around the table and take a guess. Bria, of the percentage, 80% of the players in the league are African American. What's the percentage you think protested? I'm gonna say take a knee or put the fist in the air.
Or locked arms.
Or locked arms. How many you think protested?
Locked arms don't count, right?
No, yeah, I agree. Locked arms don't count.
They were like,
Locked
let's
arms
do
don't
this instead of
count.
doing
I'm gonna
this.
say the fist count and a knee count. What you think? What's the percentage?
Percent.
I'm gonna go with 9.
9%.
Nine.
Lord,
Tank,
have mercy.
Tank, what you think the percentage of the
That's me being
NFL?
like-
Because
Oh,
we
okay.
ain't even got to say white players because no white player besides Chris Long protested.
Yeah, well,
so you go ahead. And Chris
but-
Long ain't do nothing but put his hand on the nigga's
My
shoulder.
grade point average in the 8th grade was a .5617. That's the percentage.
Half a percent.
Half a percent.
Half a percent.
Half a percent.
Okay.
Boy, that is horrendous.
Jeez Louise.
Matt, what you think, baby?
I think that Tank is a miracle to get this far. I think that it was Colin Kaepernick, Michael Bennett, them other two dudes from the Seahawks. That's 6 on a 53-man roster. It was lower than your GPA. I'm gonna say it was .0005671.
I would
Stick
say.
with my 9.
I would say. I think 9% too high. I think that's
is
too
too
low.
high, but I want
I think
it
about
to be
3%.
You wish
3%
I
of the
wish it was
African American
9%.
players.
in the
Because
Wakanda.
every team had at least one.
That'd be 30 niggas.
Not every team had at least one.
You might be right, but I feel like every team had
Even
one.
if they did, that's 30 niggas.
Cromartie got cut. Remember, Cromartie got cut
The
because
Cowboys
of it.
locked arms before the anthem,
And
so
that's
that's
my
0.
team, and I was so
How
disappointed.
many players in all, bud?
That's for another podcast.
That's another podcast. Don't do that.
That's for another podcast. What was that? Intern Julio.
Intern Bud with the answers here before we move on to the next topic. Approximately 12% of NFL players did not stand for the national anthem. This is the date after Trump had said
One day.
those some of my bitches.
That's
Oh, yeah,
one
you
time.
Yeah. If you combine the players who
And that's
didn't
still
stand
too
with 3
fucking low.
teams who weren't
For
on the
80%.
sidelines, it was 23%.
Haha.
So
That's pretty high.
So out of 80%,
It's 23.
25%. That's worse than voting.
That is
in
way worse.
2016.
I don't care.
That's why-
That's still more people than y'all thought it
What
was.
say $1, Bob?
That's why I said when we talking about we should make our own league and every nigga.
We can make our own.
Y'all minds
Who
ain't
gonna
big
pay
enough.
the
No. It's not that my minds
Oh.
ain't. The nigga that's in the league mind ain't.
Oh,
Who
My
gonna
mind's
pay the bills
in-
till then? Who gonna pay the bills till Puff Daddy and Jay-Z get the big 3 of football together?
We got everything we need right now in order to do this
It's
shit,
enough
but
rich
it ain't
niggas out
gonna
there
get
to make it
done.
happen.
See, the NFL slick. Let's not, and we gonna move on to the next topic. But we not gonna let's not get off the fact that the NFL owners are slick and they trying to play both sides
They are.
because they just sold the Carolina Panthers to a dude from the Steelers or whatever who is he's not African American, but he's a big time like advocate of African American things and stuff like that. And the Steelers started the Rooney Rule, which is where you had to interview an African American and stuff like that.
minority
This
candidate.
dude wasn't nowhere on the radar of the original owners they had lined up to buy the Panthers,
throw you niggas
but
some biscuits.
they skipped over.
Like, here, y'all take this.
With a
and
little
then
honey sauce.
We'll do this.
Yeah, it said
love
why should
honey
small? They sold it to
Hey, man,
David
what are we gonna
Tapper
do? I'm happy
for
for the nigga.
We're
$2.3
gonna
billion.
start over.
Now, this dude, he was a partial owner of the Steelers and Heinz Ketchup or whatever. He $2.3 billion.
Well, I work for Heinz now.
But the only
I work for this nigga.
Busted.
yeah, man.
Damn.
But
Oh shit! Hold on. Bottles up.
You better stand for the anthem.
don't fire Mr. Tapper. He gonna stand for that anthem though,
It's
boss.
only temporary, so
I
y'all
rise.
crackers can't find me anywhere. Fuck Heinz.
But yeah, that dude was not like the number one dude to buy the Panthers. It was the dude from the that owned the NASCAR. Bill France was like number one, and a whole bunch of other dudes. But you already know what NASCAR said about standing for that anthem.
But it's a private industry. We can pick who we want here.
Yeah, Diddy and Steph Curry dropped out because it got
Are
too
we
hot,
gonna
but
just
that's
let
understandable.
people
They ain't got
be
enough
on
money
the
for that shit.
podcast because they want to be, because they have the freedom of it. Scott, you cannot come and hijack a mic.
But it's just right.
Kunsanova, you have the right to free speech. You cannot come hijack a mic.
Now I can understand that if you.
No, 'cause
now,
it's private.
That's different. Yeah, I'll just
Tell me how to
Different
run my
story.
show.
But we gonna table
Tell me how to run
it because
my
I want to
meeting.
get to the other topic a little bit or whatever because we killing this one. I mean, we're doing well, but I'll go to the other one. The other thing we was gonna talk about, the "This Is America" video is still a hot topic. It's still going on. Every time you get on Facebook, you still see Donald Glover doing the little Richard Pryor pose or whatever. Now, it's a lot of cultural references in there and a lot of people saying the different things, and it's positive and negative feedback on the video or whatever. Some people say Donald Glover, come on, intern bud.
You gotta stop, bro.
We
You
doing
gotta
Navy
stop.
SEAL training at the 685 studios.
Bruh Nation, if y'all could look and see intern bud,
Big
I
ass,
mean,
a big ass walrus.
But let me tell you, he moved like a swan. I would take him in the 5th round.
he got a nice bubble.
You can take a knee next season.
Oh my goodness, bruh. Like, you know what? That nigga ain't dying in no foxhole. he ready right now.
Not here, not now.
He got the prone crawl down. Oh man, that just literally made me cry, bro. Like when he said the big seal. Y'all, oh my god. Anywho, yeah, man, the Donald Glover "This Is America" video is real heavy, and it's of course the things in it, the symbolism influencing our culture. We wanted to get into like hip hop and how it influences our culture in general, like as a whole. How has it shaped Black culture? Do you think is positive, the negative aspects of it, or whatever? I know Bria had wanted to talk about this weeks ago, or whatever. So, Bria, what's your thoughts on the whole hip hop influence in Black culture? Do you think it's a positive, negative thing, whatever?
I'm torn between the two. I think it's negative in the fact where, of course, when they're calling girls derogatory names, oh my gosh.
Intern Bud.
Get her for that, though.
Go ahead.
When they're talking
Lord,
of calling girls derogatory names and talking about killing each other and things like that, that makes it negative. But I think that it's so much a part of our culture now, and everybody wants to be a part of it. Like every commercial I turn on now, we got a beat on it, somebody rapping, stuff like that. So I think I'm just saying.
Bruno Mars.
We got Kelly over there trying to dance and stuff.
Yeah.
So I look at it from both aspects. I really don't appreciate the derogatory. There's literally like a song with Chris Brown. I think it's called Love More or something.
Oh, I don't know. I don't listen to that wife beater no
How does
more.
it go?
So I'm not gonna rap it, but
I'm not familiar.
I'm
Listen
also
to
not
it after the
familiar with
pod.
the song.
After the pod. So in the first verse, he's talking and he's like, "Oh, I got this white girl, blah blah blah." He's calling her a white girl, whatever. And then in the second verse, he started talking about the black chick, and he called her the B word, and then he called her the H word. And
He ain't
talking
called a
about
white girl a
called her-
bitch.
but he ain't
Boo.
called the white girl that. You feel me?
Boo
And
and
so,
honey?
I believe it's bitch is the correct term.
Oh.
Bitch.
why you petty?
I listen to Chris Brown.
What's the
That's
name
not
of
my
that song?
speed.
I think it's either Love More or
Intern
only
Bud,
heard
look
Freaky
up the
Friday.
lyrics to "Love More" by Chris Brown. Cool
it's
shit.
either Love or the other one. By
So basically, you're saying that he's not being derogatory towards the white woman, but he's being derogatory towards the Black woman.
right, and I think that's still something that's really impacting.
Our culture.
Yeah, of course.
Tank, what you think?
Bitch is a bitch. A hoe is a hoe. What we gonna do? God damn it, bitches out here. There's hoes. I can't talk about the bitches. I love bitches. All kinds of bitches.
I have no idea what
Can I
you
just
just
talk about the
said.
different- I just said I love bitches.
I hear you.
I am of enough wisdom and stuff to separate the black woman from a bitch. But when any nigga is talking to his fellas and they talking or whatever, like they got Morgan Freeman for this shit now. This bullshit that he got talking about sexual assault. If women could hear, if women could hear how niggas talk about any chick. Let me talk. Any bitch at the workplace, and they heard how niggas talk. Everybody at a goddamn workplace would be getting charged with sexual assault.
Now that's true because I just told Bria last week we was talking after the podcast and we was talking about if you could read if like she could read dude's mind or whatever,
Nigga
right?
be like, boy, I stick my whole head in that ass.
And I told her, I know dead ass, no Tank, right? I told Bria, I was like, you don't want to know what men think on a regular
Women,
basis.
look here, we sexually assaulting y'all on a
That's
minute by
actually
minute
true.
basis.
I can't even
They
deny
are.
that.
That's not
You're right,
surprising.
man.
Get out of
Why
here.
you suck your teeth? That's creepy.
But a player like
Show some
me-
titties at church. Pastor ain't gonna be able to keep his sermon right.
That's true. I agree. Like dudes are trash in general with our thoughts.
not surprising.
Like I feel like 98% of our thoughts are sexual anyway.
Not us black kings.
we got Almond Raw over here in the corner, like wilding
Oh,
out.
but hold on. But as far as
But-
the hip hop culture,
Back to the
Yeah,
bitches and the
hip hop
hoes.
culture reflects what it used to before white
Nail
people.
on the head.
White people always fucking something up because it used to just reflect whatever situation that you.
It was
in.
very pro-black.
Or whatever.
I agree with
Yeah,
that.
or
Hip hop
whatever.
used to be one of the most pro-black
Bambaataa
things ever.
and them or whatever.
Oh yeah, bro. African Bambaataa, Public Enemy,
all of that. Even-
Rakim.
No, it started off. If y'all don't know about Dr. Malik Z. York of the Nuwapian religion,
We don't.
who separated from the 5%ers and all of that. That's who African Bambaataa was. It was actually some niggas like spiritual, religious shit in the lyrics of hip hop, and that's how it started. And then it got commercialized, and then it got into what it eventually evolved into the shit that we got now. But it did start off as something righteous in the beginning.
If you listen to early '90s hip hop, and you know what? Matter of fact,
Oh, you
I
don't
would-
know this history.
No, that's not my. That's not why I get off the boat.
Okay.
Early '90s hip hop. And matter of fact, earlier this week, I was listening to like a little '90s mix from Tevin Campbell, some different stuff or whatever. I would say, man, it's a lot of like, it's a lot. Oh, I can't listen to Tevin Campbell.
What's wrong with Tevin
I
Campbell?
said early '90s from
Nothing,
Tevin
ladies.
Campbell. Apparently, I can't listen to Tevin Campbell, y'all.
Tevin Campbell
Can
done
we
sucked a lot of dicks in
talk?
his lifetime.
For a minute.
That's why that nigga cheats look like that. That's what happened when niggas do that.
What?
Suck a lot of dicks in their lifetime.
You saying
That nigga
Tevin Campbell
head
gay?
like this.
Tevin Campbell gay.
Everybody know something wrong with that.
You gonna
boy.
say on this
chill
podcast,
out,
Tevin Campbell gay?
something ain't wrong
You
with
ain't got
something.
no proof, man.
What?
Tevin
You can't
Campbell ain't
just,
gay
you can't
now.
just throw something out there like that.
Everybody
That's not
know.
just
So
thrown out there.
disrespectful.
That's-
I saw the video when he tackled the dude playing football.
Bruh.
It was 10 cheerleaders.
He was up
And
under.
he still tackled
Tevin,
the
I
dude.
tried to protect you,
I don't-
baby.
I'm not saying that
I
he's a
tried to
homosexual because he tackled a man when there's plenty of women
To
to
tackle.
tackle. What I'm
Come
saying
here.
is the
was playing-
the door is not closed.
Chill out.
They weren't playing football. Him was playing football.
And listen, Bria, it is
I'll-
a lot of evidence
but that's
out
not what
there.
we're talking
I tried
about.
to save
That's
you.
not what
No.
we're talking about.
All right.
It's okay
But-
for the ladies.
but
He was
sometimes-
talking to you.
Sometimes you
Talking
gotta
to
clear,
you.
sometimes you gotta clear it up, man.
all you gotta know is that Quincy Jones raised him.
Oh well, then
That's all you gotta
that's
know.
saying a lot.
Wait a
That being said, too, though, I'm gonna say this.
Case
I'm
closed.
gonna say this though. Real talk, like if you look at some of the '90s hip hop stuff, there's a lot of positive pro-black imagery in there. Even like cross colors clothes and like just all the like the African stuff and all that stuff. In general.
negative because
How we used to chill
NWA
in
was
the
like,
mill.
Yeah, how we used to chill in the field. I ain't even old
Called
enough.
loyal.
Butterfly
song?
on that
Yeah, it's
soul.
called
Let
Loyal.
me see you Tootsie Roll. You know
Yeah,
about the
but
Tootsie
rap-
Roll. Here's what we at the same place. I think when we got
Loyal.
off with the NFL.
Okay,
With hip hop. Hip hop as itself is artistic expression.
right.
We can't expect that every artist is gonna feel like African Boom Bottom.
You can't.
Some of them gonna feel like Soulja
Tekashi
Boy.
6ix9ine.
Who?
Ice-T.
Who? Yeah, colors. But,
Colors.
some of them gonna feel like this my plug walk. Let me show you how my plug talk. Because that's and these are air quotes, pod artists. That's the reality that he's trying to express. And you know what? I can't even knock him for that. I knock myself for the fact that you think that's something worth telling somebody about. I faulted you, little boy. I should have volunteered. I should have came to the PTA meetings. Because you shouldn't be out here thinking that anybody care about your plug talk and your video is trash.
Ooh.
You can't come on the show. Intern Ferdinando. Look up plug talk. And you got the plug walk. You got a song without a dance that's begging for a dance. But we're talking about the culture in general. Nah, it just made me mad.
Nah, you could get mad because you know what? I agree with that. I feel like this, man. Hip hop is an artistic expression. You can't really control art or whatever. Oh, you can get at it, man. I don't care about the
Yeah,
plug
let me
walk.
see who this
But you can't really control people art or expression. But hip hop also is so immersed within black culture or whatever. Like when you have the BET Awards or whatever, right? 90 some odd percent of them awards is like hip hop awards. Like they about hip hop or whatever. We don't give out a BET award for, best black political person. We don't give that out. You know what I'm saying? So hip hop, it's just like when Marcus, guest host Marcus that was on here, shout out to Marcus. He say all the time, is hip hop our culture? Like, what is black culture? Is it just hip hop? I disagree that it's just hip hop, but it is
very much more.
I was about to say,
it's Condoleezza Rice and Colin Powell.
It's a very
immersed in white people, so we ain't got too much.
Who is?
Wow.
What's black
So
culture?
says your hair.
Well, that's a good question. What's
pretty
black
brown,
culture?
blue eye.
What's black
You look
culture?
like y'all could just name out a whole list. What black culture besides hip hop? Nigga. I love saying nigga. That's black culture.
You love saying nigga. With funerals, it's usually a family disagreement.
This nigga Matt, wow.
Is that not? Oh, yeah. We laughing because we know it's black culture.
Oh my god.
But them just people problems.
I think white people argue at funerals too.
That's right, because they people problems.
That's people problem.
But it's hard
Ain't
when
a lot
it's
of
black folks.
Well, you know what? Don't make me feel bad about black people not having a culture tank. White people ain't got no culture either.
White people have zero.
All their culture is stolen.
I'm
So
just saying,
at least we invented hip hop.
They got
stolen. Our culture,
Nutella is delicious. Y'all need to cut that shit
our
out.
culture is all back in West Africa.
My
and
culture is
Badu.
I don't think so.
My culture
I think-
is
Well,
in
Bria,
your
tell me
hell.
what's the black culture?
Wait a minute.
I mean, when we came to America, once we learned how to function and we learned English and everything like that, we made what is cool. We made what is hip. We made what is hot. Our music is hot. White people want to listen to our music that we listen to. White girls want to blow up their lips because they want to look like black girls.
And what else?
When I go to work, they want to touch my hair because it's all curly.
Don't ask a black girl to touch your
When
hair.
Fight them.
Yeah,
Fight 'em.
I agree. Don't do that.
Fight. Take your knee.
Don't
Fight
ask a
'em.
black girl to touch your hair. Go ahead,
We
Bree. I'm
make
sorry.
up-
Continue.
We make up
Yeah.
the slang. When people say turn up, when people say the struggle
black
is real,
culture.
that's
It's lit.
our stuff.
Lit.
That's black culture.
Once it's lit. Those are our things.
So
that-
basically,
That's not-
American
it's not
culture is
immersive.
black culture.
That's
Is
black
that what you're
culture.
saying?
It's not a lot. Like if I
No,
think of,
Brie done turned my head now.
you just said a couple of things, but I can think when I think about Mexican, when I think about
What
Russian,
you think about what makes it
What
good?
you- that's what I'm saying.
tacos,
That's one.
sombreros, salsa.
When the last time you seen a
I was about to
sombrero?
say Mexican.
When
you think
is the
about it,
last
Sasha,
time?
I know
When
you
you
watching
think
the
about
show.
it.
When the last time you put on a sombrero?
Thank you.
And it wasn't anniversary night.
That's it. And you ain't put it on Scott.
So are you saying that we had the same amount? Of
No, I'm saying
So
Bria.
you think it's pinatas at every
I
Hispanic
think
birthday?
it's a whole bunch
I
of
think
stuff.
Bria
They sell
changed
them
my
at
mind.
Walmart.
And American culture is black culture.
What is American
No.
culture besides slang
Everything
and
that's
music?
That's a good
American.
question. What is
Besides-
American
I mean,
culture?
besides
Since we
slang
don't
and
have
music.
one.
But wait, no, there is an American culture because when you go to a foreign country, they know how American
They
acts.
know
They have
exactly how
stereotypes
Americans
act.
or whatever, and we invented all that shit.
American
So, yeah.
Okay, so since you don't think we have a black culture, what's white culture? Since we immersed in
No,
the,
no,
in
no.
this
That
society.
I mean, I'm
Dress.
saying
We on point today.
because this is my point. Because we
gotta
don't
press
have
'em.
one doesn't mean that white people have one. White people don't have one either, or whatever.
So you saying
That don't make no
Americans
sense.
don't have culture?
That don't make no sense.
yeah,
That makes no
I
sense.
never said that. We are mixed in crackers and stuff. And
So what is their stuff,
I mean,
since
what
we're
do what?
mixed in
I don't know because I'm not
what
in
you
tune
think.
with white people
I
like
what you
that.
think.
I mean, what do
Alright.
they like? Hot dogs? A lot of motherfucking corn.
Tabasco.
I don't know.
Tabasco.
Mayonnaise. White people love
I don't know.
mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
No,
What do they like?
let me tell you what American
Everybody
culture,
that's watching,
American-
y'all comment down below and let me know what type of mayonnaise y'all like so we can get them as a sponsor
or
on the show.
hot spice.
Shout out to Dukes.
Louisiana versus Crystal.
Niggas got hip hop and
Hey,
and
I'm trying to get the biggest
slang.
one.
You said what?
We got hip hop and slang. You just
No,
put me on that one. too.
no.
That's what we
I said-
got.
We got everything. though.
Okay.
What else? What is everything?
This is
Music?
American
I said
culture.
hip-hop.
American,
Music and
American
slang.
culture is the American ideal. It's the melting pot. We all pick the things we want. Who has not tried to use chopsticks?
I can't do it.
Who has not tried?
Everybody try.
You done tried chopsticks?
I ain't fucking,
You don't-
I ain't fucking with no
You ain't never tried no chopsticks.
He done
Never
tried
tried
it.
to
I done
use
been there. It was
What?
funny.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, it was funny.
Like willingly. It was,
Yeah.
always
It was
the
two
only,
drinks
only
ago.
thing there.
I believe it went just
Man,
like
Have you
this.
ever,
Man,
read,
what the
have
fuck
you
is
ever read a
this?
fortune cookie?
Yeah.
You ever read a fortune cookie?
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever worn a sombrero?
Oh, whatever.
But you done had a taco.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You ever had a kebab?
Kebab, shout out to the
A
Middle
jarro?
East.
What is it?
Free Palestine.
Right.
Yeah. If you go to
American
Jamaica,
culture,
it's all kind of
American culture is what America wants to be when it grows up. It's, you know what? We pick the things we like, and yeah, it is okay, even though it ain't mine, because I like it. See, American society, unfortunately, is black people do that, white people do that. Hispanics do that.
Unfortunately.
But guess what? Coronas.
They
I ain't
were
gonna say no
delicious.
more.
And
I
then
ain't
I
gonna
discovered
say no more.
Dos Aggies.
They ain't struggling. Who buying them? Intern Bud, percentage of Corona drinkers that are of Latin or Hispanic descent.
I've never seen a Mexican person drinking a Corona. They
it's
drink
nasty.
Tecate. Yeah. I'm about to say.
Modelo. Dos
Modelo,
Equis.
yeah. Dos Aggies. I never seen them drink
Mexicans hate
Corona.
on the Taco Bell. Why they be hating on the Taco Bell?
Because
Because that's not
nasty.
Because that's
authentic.
not.
Now wait a minute.
their-
Now I done had real Mexican food. You can't compare Taco
Taco
Bell
Bell is not
to the greatness
Mexican
that is
food.
Mexican food.
Just like
bro.
Chinese
No,
food
when
is
you get a
not
taco,
Chinese
taco.
food.
Chinese
All you gotta-
taco is not
all
a
you gotta
taco.
tell them is put extra meat in the shit with extra lettuce, and they're gonna be just like that Mexican shit.
You crazy.
It's not.
You crazy as hell.
It's just not.
You see, but
a burrito.
y'all gotta understand.
Hold on.
Tank
So
not
you
a
can
Mexican
get-
food.
so you can get
fan.
ribs
Wow,
from
that's
anywhere.
it,
All of
You
them
can
gonna
get-
blow
yeah,
their ass
you
wide
can-
open.
You can get reels from anywhere.
All of them gonna blow
You
your
get
ass
ribs from
wide
anywhere.
open. Mexican food. What?
You can get ribs from anywhere.
What are you talking about? You get ribs from anywhere.
You
Can't
get collard
reels
greens from
You say
anywhere.
you can get tacos from Taco Bell and they taste just like
Welcome
tacos.
to KFC.
All real
Would you
tacos.
like
taco
would you like
seasoning,
collard greens?
lettuce, and cheese.
Collard
Like
greens?
Chicken wings.
It's
You get fried
KFC.
chicken wings anywhere.
Are they the same everywhere?
You go to Chinese place, you get some fried chicken wings. You fried chicken
Are they the
wings.
same as are they the same?
I mean, yeah.
If that's how you do yours with a little soy sauce.
Yeah, unless you get a
You
specific kind.
Hey,
No,
you
no,
lie.
no, I'm talking about wings is the same everywhere. Unless
If you gonna lie
unless
to
you
me.
talking about
Nah,
sauce.
wings
Bruh,
ain't the same
chill.
everywhere.
Unless you talking about the sauce.
We gotta talk about this real quick. Wings ain't the same
Who
everywhere.
cooking in your
Fry
house?
some wings in your house and then go to a Chinese place and you tell me give me 4
What-
wings and some fried rice. It's gonna taste the same, not exactly like yours. Of course, homemade is all gonna be better, but it ain't gonna be that much off. It's gonna taste like chicken.
Tank Cocoon, he eat Asian fried wings.
C-word.
He eat Asian fried wings.
Which
'Cause
C
it's
word, Bria?
So Popeyes tastes like
Not the one
golden
that white
egg
people don't
roll.
like?
No, not that one.
Popeyes tastes like golden egg roll.
Oh no,
Tastes
no.
like KFC.
No, you can taste the difference, but it's still
What
a wing.
difference?
It's still a wing.
A seasoning difference?
Yeah, the
A
seasoning
cultural
is
difference? Perhaps.
You can say what's better. I ain't saying Mexican authentic ain't better, but it's still just a taco. Throw some meat in that bit. some lettuce,
So
cheese.
we bring KFC up to your job and see what they got to say.
Right.
KFC what?
Who made this macaroni?
I don't like KFC.
No,
Nobody
hold on,
does.
macaroni. Now that's a whole nother.
Hold on.
That's different food.
So
We
you
just
are
like
telling
the
me that
smoky-
Karen is going to put things in the potato salad like raisins
That's unnecessary.
that are unnecessary. Oh hell no, Karen.
I think I must say, you can keep your fried chicken with the soy sauce.
I tell you what though, man. Back to the
What was you talking about? We
hip hop
talking
culture.
about
Wait. Back to the hip hop
Cultures.
culture thing or whatever. I'll say this. Bria changed my mind about like black people inventing a lot of stuff in America. And the culture is American culture is black culture. You got me on that one, Bria. But I'll say this. I don't think most black people identify that American culture is their culture.
We do.
No, most, not you, man.
I don't, because I don't know
Y'all
what I do
don't.
that's American.
You said that we do not identify American culture as our culture, or
Yeah,
we do?
we
What do I
don't.
Oh, we don't.
I don't think we do.
I don't.
I like your European hairstyle, brother Tank.
What?
You heard what
He
I
trying to
said?
say that your hair.
He's
You
trying to-
saying that you don't do anything that's American. He's saying your
And those
haircut
are
is
some nice.
American.
What are
My
those?
haircut
Are those
American?
are those British beads?
Oh, those are African bees. Now that's African.
And airbrush is distinctly black.
Podcast, I know y'all can't see me right now, but all the shit on me is nigga shit. Not saying it always is.
It's
'Cause I done put an
American.
S curl in my shit before. My shit was smooth in the
Boy, I remember you had an S curl. Boy, that
my
was.
shit was slick, boy.
Boy, remember I had a perm.
Yeah, boy.
I need
This nigga had a perm.
Hey, one
boy.
time, y'all, real talk. One time I had a perm and I had a David Ruffin coat.
bring out the picture.
Y'all got to take a knee. Y'all out here playing with y'all hair. Wait a minute.
Shoot,
Two little Indian boys.
I missed another show. Oh, this gonna kill me. Oh man, Intern Bud just handed me this. U.S. culture has also been shaped by the cultures of Native Americans. Damn, we didn't even
Such
bring
as-
up the Indians.
Who?
Native Americans, Latin Americans, Africans,
So,
Asians.
Black people have no culture. We're missing American culture.
It's described
which is
as a melting pot.
Which is no culture. So ain't nobody over this motherfucker got no culture.
I see both.
But we came from different lands. Everybody.
I
over
see
here-
both arguments. I
Yeah,
see
we
how
came
black
from
culture
over there.
is American culture, and I also see how Tank saying like, ain't nobody got no culture
We ain't got no culture.
or whatever.
girl.
All of our cultures are from something else or whatever.
American culture is hot dogs because every time a foreign person talk about some shit,
They do
they're talking
that.
about
Now Tank got a point. They
American
always bring
like
up hot dogs and hamburgers. They always bring that
Americans
up.
get mad if you show go to a barbecue and all they got is hot dogs and hamburgers.
No, black Americans
Black-
get mad.
black-
Be sure,
Wait,
man.
That's black culture. That's black culture.
We don't want no hamburgers and hot dogs.
Your uncle, your
We want
uncle
real
with
food.
them uncles with
Ain't
them
no
Jesus
ribs?
sandals on the grill.
That's
That's
black culture. There we go.
yeah. Now that's black culture. If you go to a barbecue and the nigga ain't got on Jesus sandals and ain't no ribs on that grill, that ain't no real barbecue. You need to get up out of there.
What if you go to a crab boil that's indoors?
Oh man, you gonna choke everybody.
Oh, we got culture.
What you putting the pot in?
That was going through my head. Like, how you going?
I don't eat crabs, bro,
Stovetop?
nation.
Stovetop. Who don't eat crab?
I don't eat crabs. That's
I'm
against
allergic
God's
and I
will.
eat crab.
You allergic? Yeah, you eat the crabs.
Yeah.
I don't eat the crabs, man.
Candace,
America's
if you watching,
America's
tag
top
me.
10 favorite foods. Oh, shout out Candace. I ain't mean to cut that out.
Americans.
Top 10 favorite foods. We gonna go through this whole thing. We got to. No, I'm gonna start at number 10. Number 10, America's favorite food, potato chips.
Okay.
Number 9, donuts.
Damn right.
Number 8, ice cream. And not gelato.
It's fine.
Not
understand.
gelato.
Real ice cream. I can go with
Number 7, shout out to Whitney, chicken tenders.
that.
Oh, you goddamn right. That
That's-
might be
that's
top
chicken
5.
tenders.
That's all Whitney eat is chicken tenders. What?
Goddamn right.
Number 6, soda or pop for you up north niggas. We call it Coke down here in the South.
I'm trying to stop.
Number 5, which I feel like is coming in way too low, pizza.
I love
That's
pizza.
Niggas love
what you
pizza.
say, African American?
Niggas love pizza. And that's even
love
our
pizza.
shit.
Pizza is Italian. That's very true.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, we
That's
have
American.
Donuts might be American, and so might be potato chips. I don't think those from other countries.
Okay.
Ice cream from another country.
American.
Soda,
Pizza
just
from
soda.
Chicago.
Pizza's from Chicago. No, they have good pizza in Chicago. I'm pretty sure it's from New York and Italy, though, right?
New York.
They got pizza
Yeah.
on this shit as American food.
Yeah.
All right, continue.
Okay.
Thank you. That's
Number
our
4,
culture.
y'all gonna be shocked by this one. Oreo cookies. Not cookies.
Get the fuck outta here.
Oreo cookies. It is the number one
Oreos
selling
like
cookie
that.
in the world, though.
That's some
It
white people
is,
shit.
But yeah, I love Oreos. Y'all don't like
I
Oreos?
like 'em in
So you
shakes.
telling me I'm the only nigga at this table that eat Oreos?
I
like
like
the
Oreos,
shakes.
but I don't eat
No,
them like
I
that.
eat them, but
Yeah.
I don't look to go buy them.
Y'all don't
Right.
dip them in the milk and then like break
Have
it
you ever
off and look
said?
at your
I don't be
dick?
feeling
Have you ever
for no
said no to
Oreos
an
like that.
Oreo?
Yeah, have you ever said no to Oreo?
have.
I like chips
You
and
ain't
better.
living right.
You like Chips Ahoy? It's only by the same company.
I know, but I like chips and better.
Man, Oreos taste better. Okay,
You probably
in the
like
top
fries.
3, America's favorite food and part of our culture forever. Number 3, French fries.
Of course.
Yeah.
Got to
Yeah.
have some French fries.
And
loaded fries.
I think in France they call them pommes frites.
That ain't even us. That's French.
That's French. Pommes frites. Actually, it's Belgium. Pommes
Yeah.
frites.
We'll
And,
take it. We're America.
Number 2, which is German, hot dogs.
I knew hot dog was up
And,
there.
and solidifying
eat
tank
hot
coming in at
hungry.
number 1, hamburgers.
Hungry.
So Tank right. Our culture is hip hop, hot dogs, and hamburgers.
It is what it is, okay?
Very true.
The facts are
We
like
left our culture in Africa, man. Shit.
What?
And we had to make up whatever we can while we was here.
So who
Chitlins.
brought the okra?
Chitlins.
Who brought the okra?
Who about the okra?
We bought the okra.
bought
Okra is
okra?
African. Yeah.
Yeah,
My
we
nigga,
brought
that
okra
okra,
here.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's very
that.
White people
African.
ain't know what to do when they came over here.
I love that.
They surely did.
Let me tell you, it's a reason
White
we
people
got.
are
It's a reason we got
Vultures of every
recruited.
culture.
Yeah, it's just true. They was like, we don't know how to do nothing. Somebody go get me some niggers.
White people are vampires of everybody else's culture. Blood
Yeah.
sucking motherfuckers.
They do.
But we all like pizza though.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Okay.
I bet they stole that.
If it's good, it's
Intern Bud. Intern Bud. See if
Pizza
they
doesn't-
stole,
pizza
see if
don't
they stole
see
pizza from. See if they stole pizza from the Egyptians.
I don't trust them, boy. I don't think white people came up with nothing.
Amin Ra made the
I
first
don't think they came up
pizza
with
when he was
nothing.
creating the
I feel like
universe.
everything in America came from somewhere else.
Yeah.
It did.
You mean
Except
like
Native
the people?
Americans.
Not just the people.
But I can say this. Look at this. We need to stop acting like this shit ain't all genetic and a part of evolution, and like we can't learn anything from what these white people done did across the whole world. Anytime I say I respect white people for doing this, niggas look at me like crazy.
Well, why you can't respect white people? Like, I don't understand that. We can't respect them for what they did.
Because I appreciate
They done
pizza.
took over the
I don't
fucking
respect
world.
slavery, but I damn sure
No,
respect
no,
some
no.
of the other
They done
aspects
took
of
over
it.
the fucking world.
I like, you know what's something that white people invented that I enjoy? Democracy. I enjoy that. That's a Greek invention.
That's not my thing.
That-
White people didn't even, well, okay.
that's a Greek thing.
Oh, okay. I thought you
Because
meant like
in
them
Africa,
here,
it's
they-
monarchies everywhere, kings and shit
support that.
everywhere.
Okay.
So I'm not I'm not a monarchy guy. I'm a democracy dude or whatever. And I'm a super democracy dude. I want one man, one vote. Like old school Greek shit.
Chill
I
out,
don't even
Johnny.
want to. Yeah, I don't even want a leader. Oh, Johnny feel like that too.
Chill out,
Shout out to Johnny. Appreciate the cruise and appreciate us agreeing politically. I'm just saying, one man, one vote. I don't even want a leader. Whatever the majority rule, that's the majority rule. That's Greek shit.
People say,
I prefer
fuck the
divine.
king.
I prefer,
Yeah, fuck the king.
I prefer divine rule.
So you like divine rule?
I'm all about
Boy,
it.
that shit'll fuck up a whole everything. Boy.
But see, I got king's
Almost
blood.
every African kingdom that we reference that we come from is monarchies, divine rule.
If it's ruled by divine rule, it's gonna fuck up everything.
I'm
That
just
shit
not
ain't
down.
gonna
I
I
mean,
I
like
agree with
Trump
that.
might end up being your king.
Yeah, but you know what? He
That's
was
not this
king
episode.
for 4 years. Ain't at the most.
That's right. Yeah, that's why I
can
like
deal with
democracy.
it.
We
That's
can
why
cycle them in,
you can
cycle them
deal
out.
with that.
Yeah, that's why when niggas say, "Oh, you ain't gonna vote for him,"
How long-
No, I'd rather vote with have
We
my
back at this
integrity.
again. We back at this.
Yeah, I
again.
just want to say this. I'd rather have my integrity and not vote for that bitch and let this shit go devastating.
Although
what's
Tank is
curious
dead ass
about-
wrong for not voting for Hillary, he do have the right not to.
Wait,
But
no,
you,
no,
no.
let me- hold on,
Wait
let me
a
just
minute.
say
Wait a minute.
one
No,
more. If it's
because
a-
you talking about 4 years.
Hold on, let me just say. Hold on, let me just say
Long
this.
time.
If it's somebody who in the Democratic Party who you just detest, who done did this, and you just cannot vote for them, all right? And then it's Trump on the other end or whatever. You still gonna vote for this person just because they're Democrat?
That's not what we're discussing. My
That's
question to
what-
you
that's
is:
Hillary to me.
you said 4 years. What's 4 years? You know what 4 years is? 4 years is enough time for people to invest in houses.
And fuck up the whole car.
And then-
I agree with that.
Obama was 8 years. And
But wait,
crackers having that.
Man, I
Shit
agree with you.
happened.
I agree with you.
4
that
years. People don't stay in relationships for 4 years if it ain't working.
Bush,
Long
Bush,
ass time, boy. 4 years.
yeah.
Bush
4 years,
crashed the
man.
economy in 8. So that's true.
Yeah,
but,
Then
at the,
bounce right back.
but at the same time, though,
It-
Right
What
back.
bounce right back?
Right back. No.
No.
it took Obama 3 years.
See, that
Next
shit ain't
week,
affect niggas
right.
like
Oh,
that.
bruh, listen.
Wait,
How to
wait.
bounce back wasn't like Big
That
Sean
recession did not
described.
affect no nigga I know.
It did.
It affected me
It
and my
did.
whole goddamn
'Cause
family.
I couldn't get a job.
Because you was in real estate.
I couldn't get a job.
No,
It
because we
definitely
niggas.
affected my
you-
parents.
Say what?
I said it affected my
You in the real
parents.
estate?
Homeowners.
No, the recession affected everybody.
Right.
No,
It's
it-
not
it-
just
it
about
affected-
homeowners.
The
Wait a minute.
unemployment rate
Every
was the
nigga I
highest
talk
it
to,
ever
that shit ain't
been.
affecting.
Homeowners,
Oh.
people in the trades, anybody in the real estate industry, anybody
It
who's
depends on where you
well.
bought your
Man,
home.
you better say niggas looking for jobs because you couldn't even get a job.
We live in Florida where real estate is really a big deal, and if you need assistance,
Holla at man.
I was fine during the recession.
No.
I just want to say that out. And I was the bottom of the bottom. So if the bottom of the bottom is good, then I don't
so
give a
you
fuck
went
about
from the
name.
bottom and stayed at the bottom after the recession.
Whatever. No.
That's what you saying?
No. I was doing the same shit before the recession, and then when that shit hit, I was doing the same shit, and then afterwards, I done came up. Thank you, Obama.
Thank you for not.
Kudos to you. That
But I'll
ain't
say this
everybody.
Next week.
I'll say this before we wrap it up. On the hand of what Tank's saying is, okay, it's 4 years or it's only 8 years. That's the whole premise of democracy, that you can cycle them in, cycle them out.
Yeah,
but
get 'em outta
then,
here.
and then on the hand of monarchies or whatever, like Queen Elizabeth, she's been in power for 50 years. So if you get a monarch in there and they ruling, right, but that's a constitutional monarchy. We talk about monarchies in general, so
Real monarchy.
they can be set up any kind of ways. But in general, if you get a head of state from a monarchy, they in there till they die. So I'm always gonna be down with the
Kill 'em,
democratic
gone.
way, which is get them out of there. Yeah, you got to kill them if you want them gone.
What?
Say, yeah. That's you like that shit. Huh?
Killmonger was the rightful heir to the throne. That's all I'm saying.
I was looking at the text. It caught me at a bad moment.
Killmonger was the rightful heir to the throne, man. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. We appreciate everybody.
No, man, I want to talk some more, man.
About what?
We
Next
going
week.
on. All right, look here.
Next week on Bro, listen.
Motherfucking Castro took over a whole country. You got some hoodlums, got some thugs that were like, fuck this shit. All right.
Castro.
Yeah, Castro. Was that Castro? In Cuba.
Yeah, that's Castro.
Yeah, what is that? A dictatorship?
That's dictatorship.
It's
yeah.
the same thing as monarchy.
That's communism too. That's a whole different thing. It's not the
Next
same.
week on Brother.
Because technically, when dictatorship,
political
yeah,
styles.
I'm about to say because with
This is-
dictatorships, technically they vote on that, but the dictator always win. How does that happen?
Not in Russia.
Yeah,
No,
Putin Tang. Shout out to Putin. Come on the podcast. You'll change the world.
But you gotta wear a shirt and you can't ride a horse.
That's it. Okay, first of all, you ain't gonna disrespect the president. Putin don't ride horses. He ride
If
bears.
Putin came, what? If Putin came on that bid, boy.
If Putin came on this podcast, we lit.
Nigga.
Bro, we lit. That
Uncle
we
Matt
was
couldn't
making
make
it.
it.
Who all here?
You gotta be on here.
Who here for that? I'm here for that.
I'm here.
Y'all there for that?
You're not talking to Putin.
I'm live on Facebook.
That's it.
I'm set up at 5.
I'll comment
Putin,
underneath
boy.
the video.
I need
What'd
to
you say,
talk.
Trump?
You talking to Putin, Bria?
No.
What
You not coming for the Putin,
I'm
boy?
gonna comment on the video.
No.
Hold on. If Trump come in, are we chilling with Trump? I'm
not
chilling
doing
with
Trump.
Trump.
I do Trump.
I
'Cause
do
I feel like
Trump.
I feel like I can get through to him.
You do Trump?
I'm
But you ain't doing
definitely
Putin.
Okay,
Now let me tell you why I'm doing Putin. I need that.
Trump, you're a terrible,
That's
terrible
some
president.
American shit. There.
I need to ask Putin, did he really ride that bear or not? And did he catch that salmon with his mouth? Like, that shit.
Bareback.
I mean, yeah, literally. Yeah.
fucking with that cracker, boy.
I got to talk to Putin, man.
fucking with that cracker.
I wish we could dig up Osama and bring him on here.
Oh, Osama.
Been lying.
I don't.
You might be going
Not
too
because
far
I
with
agree
that.
with their
What are we
opinions.
getting to?
Now you know
I
what
just
too
want to
far.
interview
What
him.
we getting to?
Osama?
Yeah, I'll
You
interview
would?
anybody.
I talk to
You
anybody, really.
Yeah, that's my thing. I want to interview anybody as long as it's interesting.
I talk to the motherfucking devil if it was
All
real.
right.
Yeah, I don't care.
All right, Bria said
I'll
all
see
right.
you
That
after
means
the
that
show.
nigga
That's
weed
it.
is
It's
going
a wrap.
over.
Man,
Who's
okay,
gonna
so
ride out,
we gonna go.
really?
Yeah, we talking about who we interviewing.
Who put the spear in Jesus?
Hey, the Spill Jesus, what movie that was in? Constantine.
Well,
Okay,
we
I had to get it. Okay, you the one bought it up, man. You the one bought it up.
I did. It didn't sound like
We don't
it.
go in on, man, and get our final thoughts in. Matt, go ahead with your final thought, baby.
The hardest part of reaching your goals is holding on to your goals. When they tell you you can't, you have to make sure you can.
There it is. As always, Uncle Matt with the deep philosophy. Tank, what's your final thought?
All right. Shit, what we was talking about?
Putin.
We'll talk about we'll talk about the NFL, free speech, and hip hop
Hip-hop.
culture.
Oh yeah. Let me go on this free speech. Hey, say whatever you want to say, just not if you work for me.
Oh,
Pussy
man.
ass nigga.
Nigga Tank
Now,
made me
that's one I
snort.
can get behind. That's one I can get behind.
Say whatever you want to say,
Not for
just
my
not
dollar.
when you working for me. Pussy ass nigga. Okay, that's cool. Bria, what's your final thought?
As a people, we need to stop underestimating ourselves and what we're capable of and what we can and cannot do.
There it is.
Tabernacle.
Wakanda forever.
That's it. Wakanda forever. Oh hell no, Karen.
Raisins.
That's what's up. Don't underestimate yourself, people. My final thought is, if you feel like you need to stand up for something, stand up for that shit. I don't care what you feel like is in your way or the hurdle. Do it, because it's all about what you think is important and your self semblance and pride or whatever. So if you believe in something, fight for it. But as always, we appreciate everybody coming and joining us on the Blackest podcast, bro. Listen, check us out next week on episode number 12. As we say every week, all power to the people. Peace.